day 738 working on this thing, and we've now got it welded to where it needs to be on the sides for the moment, and we can pop off our shocks, our coilovers, and get these mounts actually fully welded in here. So we're getting really close. Pretty exciting. Keep this here forever anyway. Roger was saying when we get rid of the leaf springs, we can move these over, so I don't have to always look at it being crooked and wonder why.
Black paint, straighten it right up.
So I think I've mentioned this before, but as we've been doing this job, reminder that all the work under here, all of this hackery was done by the people that I bought this car from. So I don't even really want to show it to you. I mean, you've probably seen it throughout the videos of us working on it, but we've got less than, what, 4 or 5 days until the show now at this point. So this is, yeah, this is, we're not rushing. We're still doing a solid job with what's here. I mean, this is all strong, everything that we welded in, all the structure is here, but is it ugly and completely out of place? Absolutely. So we're gonna get rid of all of this madness here after the show at some point and actually eliminate these leaf springs, move the mounting points for the coilovers out more to give more stability to the car, eliminate all the garbage frame rail hackery BS that was done here, and then make actual proper mounting points over by where the original frame rail started down there for the 4-link going to the axle, and make this all look really professional and nicely done. So don't be too hard on me in the comments here when you see how ugly this is under here, because again, we're working with what we got. That being said, this is where we are right now. Shock mounts are welded in. This crossbar up top, which we had cut out, we cut out this garbage yesterday, so that's gone, along with this garbage panhard bar that was not doing anything for us. So
show me your Jenga.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is the absolute garbage job that just makes me want to vomit when I look at it. So, you know, and then just the complete unfinished tubbing with aluminum. Like, you guys all, Hefty's a bad car, don't get me wrong, but she's a little ugly underneath. We're gonna fix that. So anyway, we've got this crossbar welded in now. Shock mounts are welded in. Everything's welded up nicely. We had to kind of adjust the floor here. There were some factory parts that hung down like this. We cut those out, put in some new sheet metal for now, so this way the bolts coming through can clear it, going down to the shock. Now that all that work's been done, I can put some paint on here and make it look pretty. So we'll do a little degreasing, clean up where the welds were real quick, mask off anything that needs to be masked off, and spray some paint. I've masked off the ends of the axles, wiped her down. We are good to stick. Let's shoot some paint. Just gonna drop the axle down so we can get these blocks out of the way. Have room to paint underneath it. All right, let's get to painting. I got my respirator on and goggles because I'm gonna get overspray in my eyes and paint in the lungs. Let's get painting here. We'll do a couple of coats. And there she is, nice and painted up. And I'm just gonna let this dry, then I can come out here and remount the shocks and run some brake lines and we can call it good. Well, happy Labor Day, everybody. It is Monday, September 6th, 2021, and Hefty is just about ready to be done, kinda, sorta. What remains is getting the drum brake assembly put back together, brake lines, which are already bent and cut to shape, just gonna have to run them in there. Doing a new fuel line down the whole side of the car. The tank is out over there, our trusty 15-gallon keg. Gear oil going into the rear differential, and then yeah, just getting the shoes, drums back on it. Our steering pump too, a couple other little things here and there, and then we'll be good for a test drive. So wish us luck as we finish here. Oh, and yeah, I almost forgot, I have to do a little surgery and make some room for the wheels to fit, so I'm gonna have to do a little slicing and dicing and making some space for the wheels, so stay tuned for that fun. That might be tomorrow, at least today, if I can get everything assembled and we can just run it here on the jack stands and just make sure it sounds good and there's no problem with the actual gearing. We'll be good to go. We're gonna put our new wheel cylinders in, and got the ends from the old ones over here, and just kind of pop these in a little bit, and they just hang in there, and the pressure from the hydraulic brake fluid pushing into the wheel cylinder pushes them out, which pushes out on the brake shoes, which causes friction on the inside of the drum and stops you, for those of you that aren't familiar with drum brakes. And why am I keeping the drum brakes on here? One, because they still work pretty good, and two, because I'm trying to save a little bit of money on the budget of this. And Hefty isn't all that fast right now. Once I put a 440 or something bigger in it, we'll upgrade to disc brakes, but for now, the drums work just fine. We'll get the flex line coming across here, set into place, and this little breather cap just goes into the housing to let out any moisture or anything. Getting the drum brakes put back together now. So there's a bunch of specialized tools you can use to put these together, but of course I'm not going to make my life that easy and just do it with a screwdriver and a pair of welding pliers, because why not? That's what's near me, right? Get that shoe in there, get this pin through it. This little spring retainer guy holds the shoe in place here. But I don't like to have an easy life, right? This is what I choose to do to myself. There we go. Voila. So now you can see these little spring guys kind of retain pressure in and out on the actual shoes. These two springs up here give upward pressure. This cable wrapping around here connects to this adjuster, which, as I explained, you can come from the back side of the drum with a screwdriver and you can hit this little guy here, and you see that it locks one direction. So clockwise direction, which expands out on the shoes, which will put more pressure obviously on your drum. So when you start out, you'll have more resistance. You don't want to have these pushed out too far, obviously, because then you'll be wearing into your drum and basically applying brakes when you don't want to. But as the shoes actually wear out, this thing allows itself to self-adjust just through tension here, through the springs, and this will get pushed down and it'll help to adjust your tension. All right, now we've got our new brake drum, and put this on. It's got no resistance right now because we need to adjust out the shoes. So we'll get ourselves a little bit more adjustment, because you want to have just the slightest little bit of preload, just a little bit of grazing of these shoes on the drum. So this way when you step on the pedal, you have instant brake. Still got to go a little bit more right on it, and you can hear right as we're going on that little bit of resistance, and you could feel it in your hand too from the shoe material actually catching on the drum, but not so much that it's hard to push it on. You just got a slight bit of resistance. Perfect. Always make sure you spray off your bare metal surfaces. A little carb cleaner, brake cleaner. Get you good adhesion. Everything sticks nice. So now I can do one of two things. I can leave these exposed when you put the wheel on, and you'll see right through to the cool Moser M, or I could put the Weld Racing pop-out caps. So do I want to rock Weld or Moser at the end? I guess we'll find out when I get there. Let's get a little pressure on here. Make sure she's sticking good. Cool. Alrighty, our drums are on there. Everything looks really good. Now I just need to get Alex over here at some point, and we'll bleed out the brakes. I like to do it the old... Yeah, you know. I like to do it the old school way. I know you can get one of those hand pump things and do it by yourself, but I know exactly. I prefer to actually sit behind the axle, crack that little bleeder valve open, which, as we all know, after the first time you bleed them, those things rust out or they strip and you never get them again. But nonetheless, crack it open, have her step on the pedal, open it, watch the air spray out, stop, so on and so forth. So we'll bleed them the old school way, but real quick, we're gonna fill our gear oil up because that's fun. Roger luckily lent me his gear oil dispenser can, which will make this a lot easier and a lot less messy. So let's get ourselves full of some GL5 80-90 weight Valvoline, and we'll get this filled up. I'm also gonna add in a little LSD. That's right, babe, tripping over here. Some limited slip differential. Even though, for those Mopar fans out there, we know this is a short grip, all right? Limited slip's a GM thing, or posi. I know it's a type of limited slip, but it's a sure grip. But nonetheless, our friction modifier will go in there too. And we are filling. Now you're seeing right here into the actual third member, so I'm going to spin it over by hand. We can watch those beautiful gears spinning. You can still see the witness grease on them too, so just kind of get some of that grease spun around in there. And then we'll cap her up. We'll run it here in the driveway just with the wheels off like this, just get it spinning, and make sure we throw lubricant all in and around the axle housing. And after I do that, I'll pop this off one more time and check and make sure it didn't fill some nooks and crannies it didn't get to already, and that the level isn't low, and we'll top her off and we'll be good to go. We're just gonna reattach our drive shaft right quick. Thanks, babe. And just get this guy back seated in there good. Little U-bands go on there, and we'll fasten them in. All right, we got Alex in the car on the brake pedal. Okay, babes, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. All right, get under here, into position. .647, and we are fully plumbed. We have brakes bled, we have everything tightened, gear oil in there. Let's stick some fuel in it. Pardon me for seeming kind of spacey right now because it's been one hell of a freaking day. But it's been a good day. Let's fire it up, put her in gear, watch those new axles spin, get some of that gear oil moving around in there, and kind of get her a mini break in right here in the driveway. Then we can mock up the tires and see how much we got to shave out of those wheel wells and decide whether we're going to do that tonight or call tomorrow. So we're leaving Thursday morning, 6 a.m. Monday night at 7:40, so a couple things too. Just gonna start with a little bit, in case there's some leaks somewhere, because I already had one on the fuel line where the two met. So we'll check on that in a second. Looks like we've got no leaks underneath right now. Let's crank the old girl up. Would have been real bad. Let's see. Let's take those off before we fling them off. Love it. That's what we want to see. And let's just check our differential gear oil level real quick. All right, it looks like it went down just a hair. So we're gonna just add a little bit more, and then that's it for that. Ow. And then we can make some room here to fit these wheels. Now we need to make space to get these meats under here, so it's surgery time. Kind of visualize what I'm going to slice out of it and then hang her in, do a little body work over it and blend in some paint, make it happen. Alrighty, and that's what we're removing. I know, I cut up my beloved Hefty. Worth it though. Now we'll make this move in and look like it never happened. Essentially, just looking to bring this in like that, and that should give us the clearance that we need. Okay, looks like that accomplishes us about an inch between the front of the tire. I might just shave a little bit more just to get us a little bit more clearance there, but that's pretty good. That's what we're looking for right there. Oh yeah. Looks like it worked out great because we've got room once again about an inch between my finger and the quarter, so we're good to go. And that's what we took out of it right there. So that's the room that we needed. We are good to go over here. All right, so it is September 7th. We are getting close, but I've got this area ground out. I'm gonna just go through and carefully tack all these in, and then we can do a little bit of filler work and blend in our paint. All right, so I've got air handy to control heat as I tack it, kind of move around and keep the heat down. And we've got our welder. Might be able to get away with the exhaust pipe because I've got my exhaust welded to the body of the car. All right, need to turn up our voltage. That weld was way too cold. Didn't stick. Better. I think I'm still gonna crank it up just a hair. There you go. Got some good bacon. Beauty. We'll just rinse it up, moving around, cool, packing it in, and then we'll go and carefully grind this off afterwards with my angle grinder, and then feather it out a little bit more and get some filler in there. We're gonna cut into the clear coat, just get a nice scuff on everything with about 600 out to here, and then just kind of work our bodywork out there, and you'll see the process. Since we moved in the metal here, the angle changed, and this bend started right here and folded under. Did not line up with the base here, so I've actually gone through with my Nip-X, which is, these tools are freaking awesome. I love these pliers. They get a really good flat bite. Bent it out, and so now again, where that line used to be up here, so then you had the bottom here and then the bottom here not matching. Now I can tack right there and then bend it under. So let's do that. Grab this guy. Bend them under to match. Oh yeah. Now we can do some body filler. Okay. Now let's get ourselves a little bit beyond our area. Now, I understand very well what I'm doing right now isn't the most perfect and ideal situation. I'm doing this here in my driveway. The paint is already kind of failing in some spots in this car, because when I painted this car however many years ago, my younger stages of learning what I learn now, where I was then is completely different from where I am skill-wise now working on cars, and there's so much more that I'm going to learn and I want to learn, and every car I do I learn on. But nonetheless, this is the best I'm going to do right now for the next day and a half to get this car to the show. So we've got the body filler on here. Let's go ahead and hit it real quick on 120. Bring this down. We're going to try and minimalize how much of the main paint we're hitting, because we're trying to just blend this all in right here. Yeah, again, total, complete, absolute driveway job. Hot as hell. Got a day to go, but we're getting it done. Spotted in some prime, wet sand this is 600 real quick, and then we can get our little mini gun and dust in some paint and make her look good. I'm happy. Time to get a little wet sand action. let's mix up some paint. Got the guns over here ready. Paint, reducer, activator, all the stuff we need to do the job. Let's make it happen. Hell yeah. That's the good stuff right there. All right, we've just got a little bit here mixed up, 4 to 1 to 1, and we can get this sprayed on. Final wipe here. All right, so since you've last seen, our driver's side is dried up, really nice. And we got the passenger side just getting finished up over here. I'll just mix up a tad bit more, and we're looking really good though. Definitely happy with this. It's not perfect, just doing it here in the driveway, get to the show looking good. That's all that matters. This is not a professional paint booth kind of job. All right, exciting moment here because I have finished painting. Good enough. Good boy, Odie. Odie just got a bath. He is excited. And I did a little bit of cleanup, not completely. Did a couple touch-up with some leftover paint. Car is looking good. And now it is time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Putting the tires back on the car. And hopefully all that cutting I did fits, even though I tested it the other night. And it's time for a test drive. Make sure that there's not too much friction in the rear end. And yeah, test drive time. Let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. Now she's home. This is so exciting. Oh yeah, this is great. It is 8 o'clock on September 7th. We've got one day before the show. We leave tomorrow is September 8th, which is Wednesday. Thursday, September 9th, we hit the road. All right, let's tighten these bad girls down. Passenger side is on, and it looks like, yet again, our clearancing worked. We've got just enough space between the tire and the wheel well, so let's put this thing on the ground. Odie boy! Odie, what do you think? You excited? Wanna go for a ride? Alright guys, I just ran it real quick to check for vibrations, to watch how it stopped with the drums. You know what, why not? Let's just show you guys real quick what I did, just so you know what happened over here. Way cool. Let's put this car on the ground. What are we waiting for here?
Careful.
Just getting crushed and dying. That's about it.
Already trying.
Senor Ethesia, watch out, my handsome boy. Oh, dog. Oh, gotta get the wood out. All right.
Oh, what?
Holy meat factory. That is cool. Oh, that is so cool.
Looks so good.
Yeah, it does. Test drive time. Let's do this. Burn that sticker off. Las Vegas, here we come. Strap my girl in for safety. Hood pins are in. Thank you. Hell yeah. All right, let's do this. Now, if you guys remember, one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this, besides the fact that a deep dish tire just looks cooler as hell, those wheels were so out of balance and impossible to balance that this the ass shook so heavily on the road. Wow, it feels like we're already nose down too.
We are.
It shook so heavily going down the road, so I'm so excited to see.
It's way higher.
It is way higher. You love it. And I can stiffen up the shocks too to make it less bouncy, which is cool. Oh, it handles so much better already too. Less dipping. Oh yeah.
I feel like a stink bug.
Feet in my
Not shaky at all.
What's that smell?
Oh man. It's just all different smells coming back. Exhaust,
Paint.
fuel, paint, you name it. Oh man. I think we're gonna tighten up the shocks a little bit. Brakes feel better too. Hell yeah.
We bled them.
We did. And we actually put new discs or new drums in the back. Oh, hefty. I've been waiting for this for years.
Sorry, I suck at filming.
That's okay. Show the world them nails, man.
You can't even see them. Let's reach underneath the rear end and actually touch the housing and make sure this thing isn't burning itself to death. No, that's nice and warm, but not super hot. Smell that paint just like, oh wow. This car is the new car. Oh man, so cool. When you're driving, it just feels like it's doing this. Hell yeah. That's my girl. Reminded me too, I forgot we changed the gear set on the car, so we went from a 411 to a 360. RPM doing 80. We'll have to look and see what we're doing now, but the car is not shaking at all. This is so cool. Well, we made it, and that's what matters. We made it to Matt's. It's still hot as hell, but it was freaking cool here. Got Hefty out in the show area.